So just lift and roll the shoulders. Just lift your toes and then place the toes down on the ground, connecting with the earth. So although the earth is just one of the elements, it is the foundation of our posture. And so it's the foundation of all our energies, our energetic qualities. And so it's very important to get this connection to the earth, more than just it's one element. And then very gently raise the arms up, clasp and reverse, push the arms up to the sky, and then breathing out, lower the arms back down alongside you. And lift and roll the shoulders. So this lifting and rolling the shoulders gets the energy into the upper parts of the head and neck. And breathing in, turn the head to the left. Breathing out, turn the head to the right. Come to the centre. And then breathing in, raise the arms up again. Clasp and reverse. Stretch up. And then just very gently go to the side. It doesn't matter which side, you're just slightly bouncing in and out. Come to the centre, stretch up, and then just very gently bounce to the other side. Come to the centre, stretch up, and breathing out, lower the arms back down alongside you. Lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, turn the head to the left. Breathing out, turning the head to the right. Come back to the centre. Breathing in, stretch the arms up. Reverse. And then just turn slightly to the side, just come in and out. What I call that bounce or dynamic movement. Not a lot. Come to the centre and then just turn to the other side. And then come to the centre. And lower the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders. Clasp the hands behind you, aim the knuckles to the floor, and this will open you at the shoulder level. Lift the hands slightly away and turn to the left. Come to the centre and turn to the right. Come to the centre. Release the hands, lift and roll the shoulders. And bring the hands to the heart centre, feet are hip width apart. Stretch out, looking to the right hand. Bring the palms to the centre. And stretch out, turning the head to the left, looking slightly up to the left hand. Come back to the centre, palms together, they lightly touch. To the right. Come back to the centre, and then to the left. Come back to the centre, and release the hands back down. Lift and roll the shoulders. So I don't know if either of you came to me with the EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. And just tapping. So if you've got anything that you're slightly concerned about or worried about or is causing stress, and even if you haven't, it doesn't matter, just tap the hands together. You can go like that. The vibration that it sets up is the opposite of stagnation, so it kind of just slightly distracts the mind. And then just very gently come to, they call them the sore centres or soft, that's not a very eloquent description, but just here, sometimes they can be quite sore, quite bruised, and just rub there. And just drop your hands. And then this is slightly crazy. Just tap your top of your head a few times. If you're thinking how stressed you might be, you can just almost like release that. The tapping of the head connects into the something called Saraswara, it's the head chakra. And then leaving the head, just tap the forehead. So that's the next chakra down. Center of knowledge and intuition. Just tap the temples. That is very good for distracting your mind. And then just tap under, it doesn't matter which hand, it can be both hands or one hand, in this case, under the nose, the philtrum. And then the chin. And then just these points here, so just under the collarbone. So this point here is something called the K27s, and it's really connecting into our life essence and life vitality. And then the finishing movement, which I find very strange, but it is what it is. It connects into a major energy point on the body, is under where the bra strap is. You can use just one hand, it doesn't matter which hand, which arm. It'd be difficult to do both hands, and then just release. And lift and roll the shoulders. And then breathing in, turn the head to the left. And breathing out, turn the head to the right. Come to the center. Just explore coming slightly back to the heels. I've gone too far back and I've gone off the mat. Slightly coming forward, come to the center. And then just slightly to one side and then to the other side. It's exploring your center of balance. When we've been ill or a bit stressed out, often that can go. And so it's a way of reconnecting to our core self in a very simple way of less is more. We're not doing an awful lot. And then come back to the center. Tense the knees and let them go. And then if you do that again with awareness, you'll feel the abdominal muscles engaging as you tense the knees and then let them go. And then again, to connect to the core, the reason I'm emphasising the core is because it's very much believed in the Eastern tradition that you connect to your, if your core is strong, you connect to your health and being quite centred. So core movement is just subtly bending the knees. Bottom can be away. I've got my hands on the waist. Look down. You'll just feel the abdominal muscles slightly engaging and then just coming up to standing. And another thing, connecting into the balance, it's just to keep your hands where they are. Just lift the heels and just see how your balance is. Again, I'm not very good. I'm just going to come down. So well done. You've done both better than me. And then just release the hands, lift and roll the shoulders. Bring the hands, palms together at the heart center. And if you press the palms together and bring the thumbs towards the sternum, the chest level, you'll feel those, what I call bat wings, just engaging slightly, which is one of the joys of getting older, that they sometimes just aren't quite as toned as they might have been. So that's one way of just getting into them. And then just release and lift and roll the shoulders. And another way of doing that, if you want to, is I don't know if you can see me, Tracy, I'm just putting my fingers together like that. I'm just hooking my fingers and just pulling that way and then returning them upside down and pulling the other way. And again, that increases the chest, across the chest muscle, and then just release. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then coming to a seated position. So if you can come cross-legged, that's great. If you suddenly think, well, actually, I'm not great with cross-legged, then come with your legs out. Depends on where your knees are. And crossing your legs. Just hold either the knees or below the knees. Breathing in, sitting up. And breathing out, round chin to chest. Breathing in, sitting up. And rounding chin to chest. And do this a few times in your own breath pattern. So in this particular sequence that I'm looking at, we would normally do this on the hands and knees. But as you can see, it's very easy to alter things so that we're not on the hands and knees. You're beginning to warm through the spine. And the breath, as you breathe out and round the spine, there's space almost at the back of the body. Apparently, we've got about 60% of our lung capacity at the back. We don't often use it to its fullest. But when we've been ill and things have got a bit tight, it's a very easy way to open up the lungs. And then coming very gently to the centre. And breathing in. Slide the left hand to the left. Open the right arm, just bend at the elbow, just come to the side, chin in. And this is opening up the right intercostal muscles. Tummy in to press the hand down and to come upright. And then very gently slide the hands the other way, to the right, lifting up the left elbow, just coming slightly in and out. Tummy in, come up to the centre. Breathing in, turn the head to the left. And breathing out, turn the head to the right. Come to the centre. Now, despite me having said that we wouldn't go onto our knees, we're going to come up to standing. It might need the knees, but come to, however you are able to come rolling up to standing. Vertebra by vertebra. Coming to standing. And I'm just thinking, I would normally come to kneeling, but let's just try this. So hands together at the heart centre. Breathing in, hands up, stretch the arms. Come together at the heart centre, come through as you bend your knees, bend the elbows, hands on the shins. Breathing in, lengthening the back. Breathing out, softening the knees, bending the elbows. Breathing in, lengthening. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, soften the knees, press the feet into the ground and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Stretch the arms up, stretch the fingers. Breathing out, lower the hands. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Breathing in, hands up. Stretch. Hands together at the heart centre, come through. Hands slide onto the shins. Breathing in, lengthen. Breathing out, soften the knees. Breathing in, lengthen. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathe in, soften your knees, press the feet into the ground, and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Inhaling, stretching the arms up, and then breathing out, lower the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, hands together at the heart center. Breathing in, arms up, stretching up. Palms together, come through the center. Soften the knees, hands onto the shins. Breathing in, lengthen. Breathing out, soften the knees, bend in. Breathing in, lengthen. And this time, just try softening your knees and bringing your hands to the floor. This is try to keep your feet off the ground, your knees off the ground. So Tracy, if you want to bring your knee to the ground, that's fine. Step your right foot back, and your left knee is bent, and you're stretching out the back of your right leg. And then step your right foot to the left, and then step back with your left foot, stretching out the left leg, bending the right knee. Is that quite hard? And then stepping the left foot forward. Hands on the shins, breathing in. Breathe out, soften your knees and elbows. Breathing in, lengthening the leg, half lift again. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, soften the knees as you bend, roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Was that quite tough, that stepping back?
A little bit,
Right,
but I got it.
And then lowering the hands, lifting and rolling the shoulders. Step the right foot forward and the left foot back. The right foot can go out to the edge of the mat for balance. The left foot is about 45 degrees. You can turn to face the front, but that's quite a twist. So make any adjustments that you'd like to, and that can include lifting your back left heel, but then you lose your balance. So just find where it is good for you. And hands on the waist. Soften your front right knee and drop your weight centrally. And then just come back up again. And this time raise the hands and cactus arms. Soften the right knee. And coming up again. And again, just try softening the right knee, dropping the weight, and coming up again. This is a variation of Warrior One or Virabhadrasana One. And then just soften the knee and raise the arms to where it's appropriate for you. It can be right up, come back again, and just soften and come back up again. Lower the arms and step the right foot back. Just sway gently from side to side before we come to the left side. So any warrior is lifting you at the chest. So it has two main applications. It's classified as a back bend. It's very good to be uplifting for the mood, anti-depression. And the third application is that it's very good, it's weight bearing, so it's very good for people who might be worried about osteoporosis. And then just come to stillness, lift and roll the shoulders. And then coming to step the left foot forward. When you're stepping forward, it depends on how your hips are orientated. If you are internally rotated, so your feet tend to go inwards, people, and I'm like that, slightly angling the left foot in is more helpful for me, but otherwise you just have your foot straight ahead. There's always an option, and the right foot goes out at a 45 degree angle. It's just, as I said, to play around that front foot to make it work for you. And then hands on the hips as you soften your left knee, and then come back up again. And breathing out, just soften the front left knee, and then come back again. And then optionally to lift your arms into cactus arms. So you're opening up under the arms, which is part of your lymphatic system, come back up. And breathing out, soften again. And then come back up. And then optionally come higher up, soften. And come back up. And soften. And come back up. Lower the arms. Step your left foot back. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then just very gently sway from side to side. And then just lift and roll the shoulders. Stay with your feet a good A shape apart. Turn your left foot in and your right foot out. So this time your right ankle, if you drew a line, your right ankle would be in line with the middle of your back left arch, if that makes sense. And feel free to adjust your feet at any time in that. And raising the arms up. Bring your left arm, palm, to the right palm. Bend the left elbow, draw a bow, an imaginary bow, keeping the left elbow high. Raise the right arm upwards, look up to your right thumb. Lower the right hand and open the left. I'll do that again.
Sorry.
That's all right. Left hand to right palm. Draw the left elbow back in a bow. Keep the left hand there. Raise the right hand, look up at the right thumb. Lower the right hand and open both your arms again. Okay. Left palm to right. Palms together. Draw back the left elbow in your bow. Raise the right arm. Look up. Open your arms. And this time just lower your hands. Bring your feet parallel. Lift and roll the shoulders. So now turn your right foot inwards, your left foot out. Adjust if you need to. Lift and roll the shoulders and have your arms out. Bring your palms together so you're moving your right hand to the left. Palms together, you're facing the left. Draw the right arm back. Left arm up, look up, and open your arms outwards. Right arm comes to the left palm, with palms together. Draw your imaginary bow with your right elbow, opening across the chest. Lifting up, looking up, and breathing out, opening your arms outwards. And then one last time, palms together, right palm comes to the left. Draw your imaginary bow. Left arm goes up, and then arms out. And then just drop your arms, that will feel lovely. Lift and roll your shoulders, bring your feet parallel. Soften your knees, hands on the inside of the thighs, and just go slightly from side to side. If you feel comfortable, you can place your hands on the ground, fingertips, and equally just go from side to side. And then what you call heel toe your feet in. So toes come in, then the heels come in towards one another, then the toes, and then the heels. And when your feet are hip width apart, soften your knees, press the feet into the ground and roll up vertebra by vertebra standing. And then lift and roll the shoulders, feet hip width apart. So we'll create our own sun today by circling the arms up, stretch out, and circling back. And then circle the hands up and circle back. And then circle the wrists up, stretch out, and then circle back. Lift and roll the shoulders, and once more turn the head to the left, come through the centre and turn the head to the right. Come back to the centre. Hands together, and we're going to come to lying on our tummies in Sphinx pose, which is again a back bend. So hopefully, are you all right, Annie?
Yeah.
To come onto the elbows, and once you're on your elbows, wiggle your bottom from side to side, so it's jelly wobble. Tuck the right toes underneath. Extend the heels back, the right heel back, and then just drop the right leg, open the right heel, and jelly wobble again. Tuck the left toes under, extend the left heel back, which will mean lifting the left leg off the floor, and then release the left leg. Just wobble your bottom from side to side. And then open your elbows to the side. Either make fists with your hands to rest your forehead on your hands, or you can just backs of the hands, rest your head on the backs of the hands. Knees slightly wider apart, bend the knees, and just sway the feet from side to side. If you don't like looking down at the mat, you can turn the head to one side, and then you'd remember to turn the head to the other side. And then bring your feet to the centre and just circle the ankles in one direction. And then circle the ankles in the other direction. And then release the legs back down to the ground. Bring the knees slightly together. And then if you don't want to kneel up, that's fine. Just roll to the side, and we're going to come to a seated position. But if you want to come via kneeling, press your hands down and come via kneeling. There's always a certain way to avoid your knees. And then just come to a seated position. Have your legs wide out and just bounce your legs. And just pat or rub the legs, massaging anywhere that feels stiff or sore. And then just slide the hands down the legs which are in a V, maybe come to your shins. It's a forward bend. You might want to hold your big toes, that will depend on how long your arms are. You might just want to stay coming forward. So any forward bend is anti-anxiety, so it's starting to be calm into the nervous system. Just stay for a couple of breaths. The back of the neck is long. And then very gently slide the hands up And if you've got a bolster nearby, then have your bolster or a cushion. Keep your left leg where it is and bend your right knee, and you rest your right thigh, your right knee on the bolster. So you're not having to go down quite so far. So then lengthen the body, turn to the left, and just slide your hands down the left shin. Again, it's a forward bend again, but with the right knee bent, you're opening the lower lymphatic system, the inner groin area, and you're just coming forward, chin to chest. It's a slight rotation. Slide the hands up the left shin. Bring the right hand behind you and just raise the left arm, looking at the left thumb. And lower the left hand. Hug the right knee into the chest. And then just spread your right leg out again and change your bolster to the other side if you've got a cushion, or a bolster if you haven't, don't worry. And then bend up your left knee as little or as much as you'd like, and have support underneath your left thigh. Just turn towards your right leg and then slide the hands down the right shin. It's a subtle turn and forward bend and opening now of the right of the left groin. If you want to engage your legs, you would extend your right heel so that the right leg is engaged on either side of the leg, of the muscles. And then very gently slide the hands up the right thigh, left hand behind you, right arm up, looking up at your right thumb. And breathing out, lower your right hand. And then just bring the soles of the feet together and use your thumbs to massage wherever feels good. Often the soles, the insteps can feel good, or you can massage around the inner ankles. So the instep, the soles, towards the top near the big bone joint is around the diaphragm, the lungs, and then going down is your intestine, your large intestines going down to your small intestines. And massaging, I think Sue says, around the ankle is the lymphatic system, the lower lymphatic system. Both the inside and the outside of the ankle, but obviously the inside of the ankle is more accessible in this position. And then just support both legs underneath to lift the knees up, and just stretch the legs out, lift the flesh out from under the bottom, hands down either side of you, cross your right leg over your right ankle over your left, sit up, and then bring your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Just turn as you breathe in, lengthen the body, breathe out, turn. You turn as little or as much as you would like. And then come back to the centre. Support the right leg as you lift uncross your legs. And again, just bounce your legs, maybe rub them again before we come to the other side of softly bending the left knee and crossing the left leg over the right. Sitting up, lengthening and bringing your right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Turn to the left. And then very gently coming back to the centre, uncross your legs. And then coming to a lying position, knees up to the ceiling. Feet on the floor, feet are hip width apart. And just do a couple of pelvic tilts. Flattening the back to the ground and releasing. And then just stay still and have your hands resting on the abdomen, so your elbows will be out a little bit. And just take a couple of breaths. You can have your eyes open or closed. And notice the very gentle rise of the abdomen and the gentle fall away from the abdomen. And then slide your hands slightly higher up to the ribs so your elbows will open further apart. And you almost feel as if you're breathing into your hands. And then just very gently, just touch your fingertips. Your elbows are still out, just above your bust, just on that. Those sore points under your collarbones. And again, this brings a slightly different focus to the breath. And then release the arms and hug one knee and then the other knee into the chest and just gently rock from side to side. As you rock from side to side, just enjoy the sensation of the floor or the mat against the back of the head. And hugging the knees into the chest. Still hold the knees, let them go to arm's length. Hug the knees into the chest, and let them go to arm's length. And you've got a choice as you're hugging your knees into the chest, either to let your hands do the work, which is very satisfying, or if you want to let your tummy or your abdominal muscles do the work, you'd have a very light touch of your hands on the knees, and then you would let the abdominal muscles hug in, which is actually, I think, much harder.
It is so.
So yogic-wise, you're supposed to let your tummy do the work, but actually, I think it's very nice. You can only do that a couple of times before I want to actually go back to hugging my knees into my chest again. And then hugging behind your knees, so I'm clasping my hands. Just very gently raise the feet up to the ceiling. You keep your knees bent and just sway gently from side to side. And then hug the knees into the chest once more. You might like to roll on your back so your knees make a little circle in the same direction. And then perhaps reverse the circle. You're just massaging at the very base of the spine. It's really nice to open up at the lower part of the spine. It gives space between the vertebrae. And then very, very gently releasing the feet to the ground. And you can roll to the side to gently come up to a seated position. Take the time so as not to disturb your movement. Come to either legs out in front. I'm going to come to a cross-legged position. Hands on the knees, just lift and roll the shoulders. Bring one left hand to the chest. Breathing in, open the hand to the left. Breathing out, bring the hand back to the chest. Right hand, open the hand out to the right. Breathing out, bring the right hand back to the chest. The chin comes to the chest, slightly lengthening in the spine. And a random thought for the day is manifestation. The next thought is dreams. And the third thought for the day is music. So taking a bow for yourself, come back up again to connect with the outside world. And thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you.